good. I think I'm good.
Fire away.
All right, Coach. I appreciate you coming on. I got some questions for you about. I mean, how long did you coach here?
30 years.
30 years. So, what was. Do you remember the first time as a head coach? Do you remember that game? And then do you remember your last game?
Neither one.
You don't remember either one.
I can't. I know who. It was a year after Coach Smith retired, and basically I had the B team my first year.
Okay.
We played 5 players on the B team that year that were all juniors because we had everybody on the varsity. I think we had 12. All were seniors except Ricky
seniors.
Looney, and he was ineligible his senior year in school because of the age rule.
Okay, gotcha.
And so I had, I take it back. There was 2, Kenneth Bothwell, and he decided not to play his senior year. And so I had no players coming back that first year. And we finished 5th. I remember the score, the record and everything. It's 15-12. Lincoln won the state tournament that year. We got beat by them twice. We played Springville, was runner-up. That's who Lincoln beat in the state finals. And we were ahead of them. We got beat 3 times, and we were ahead of them all 3 times in the start of the second half. But we didn't have no depth. And they were big, a lot bigger.
They just ground you down.
They ground us down. And
what's the, from your whole career at Asheville, did you spend were you at any other schools?
Never.
This
never
was your
at
only
another
school?
Only school.
What's the one moment that you remember over any other moment out of your whole coaching career here at Asheville?
Lord mercy. I guess it was Jeremy's junior year in football. Us going all the way to the state semifinals.
At Elba?
Yeah.
92.
That was a heck of a accomplishment by those players and Coach Prost too. And but it was just, they improved so much from game to game to game. And that was the thing I remember. And we went to Elba. Elba they were fast, they were big. And then we got in there and started throwing the football, running on them. And one of the guys on the sidelines that was running the chain gang, he said, I can still remember it to this day, he said, y'all got some kids that can run. We had Sonny Tibbs and Jeremy Jones and Shane Thomas. They were 4 or 5 or better.
Yeah.
And if Scott Kuntzman hadn't got hurt, we'd have been state champions that year. There's no doubt in my mind. He broke his
Clavicle.
bone right back here, clavicle.
Scapula or something?
Clavicle or scapula or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, he broke it. And we didn't have no subs for really, I guess, him. Because when he went out as our running back, we had to move Jeremy Jones from a wide receiver to that running back. And then we didn't have a wide receiver out there.
So you didn't have a pass
We didn't.
outside?
Not him anyway. He was too good. And so we had Sonny Tibbs on the other side. And then we had to go to the other people in between. But it just affected us so much, not being able to have Scott. It literally killed us. We'd have won the game, I'm telling you. And the officiating was so bad.
Home cooking.
Now,
see, that was their last game in that stadium, right?
Yeah.
And that was that coach's last season before he retired?
I think so.
That's what David Murphy and I talk about that all the time. Now, you coached with him.
Coach Murphy?
Yes. You taught him.
Yeah,
I
taught him.
And then you coached with him?
Well, I coached the junior high. And so he was on the varsity. I didn't really coach with him. I don't guess I did. I can't remember.
What was he like back then?
Oh. Coach Mercer he is a good guy. And he's funny.
Like he is now?
Dry wit.
Yeah.
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 And then they had Coach Brownlee. I won't ever forget one time. It was on a morning practice, I think, and before the season actually started, 2 days or whatever we had. And he had the offensive lineman or defensive lineman, I don't remember which one, but he was trying to show him something. And he took off running, and his feet went out from under him. And I mean, bam, he hit the ground, and the kids laughed. Oh, it ticked him off, too. Embarrassed him more than anything.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. I laughed. I can still remember it to this day. So
now
he was a good coach, too.
You know, we had a good run in football this year.
Yeah.
You know, and you were at most, if not all, the games.
I missed one game. I think it was. Let's see, who'd you play away back that way? I went to White Plains, Oaks Bluff. Did we play Cherokee County up there or here?
Here.
All right, I saw that. I saw all of them, I think, except one game.
Mm-hmm. You didn't miss a home game. You know, this was the first time in 20 years we made the playoffs. What do you think was? You've seen a lot of Asheville football. What do you think was different about this team that helped us make the playoffs?
Well, I think they were together
mm-hmm.
more than the teams we've had the last few years. And they just had an offense that sort of suited them. Mm-hmm. Wish we'd have had a fast running back, mm-hmm. but we didn't have it. So, you know, you have to make do with what you got. And I thought use that middle screen.
Mm-hmm. That slow screen over the
perfect.
Middle. Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? When we were playing basketball last year at Westbrook,
mm-hmm.
I was outside talking before the game or during the game. He said, y'all going to get to use a screen pass. And when the season started and Mark started calling mm-hmm. screen stuff, I said, he's right. So he knew what he was talking about.
What was your favorite part of the season?
Beating Oaks Bluff,
yeah,
Springville,
yeah,
and Oaks Bluff, Springville. There's one other one. Aniana.
Three of the best games.
I don't like them schools. I've never liked them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rivalry games more than anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you know this. We was playing Oaks Bluff when Raymond was here, and I can't remember. I believe it's maybe my second year or third year. We was playing on the old school, of course. And Tommy Coker, mm-hmm. he tackled somebody on our sidelines. Well, they jumped up and started a fight. And anyway, I'm trying to break it up. Raymond's trying to break it up, and Randy too, and all of a sudden, I get hit right in the back of the head. Oh. A fan had come clear across the field, and he hit me in the back of the head.
With his
his fist, and knocked me down. And when I got up, I had to pull Tim Cook, one of our black kids, Juice Cook's brother. Uh-huh. I had to pull him off of that guy.
Really?
He was beating the crap out of him.
Because he hit you.
Yeah. And, you know, nothing back then was ever done. That shouldn't you to do it now. Somebody's in deep trouble.
Yeah.
That fan would never get back on the football field. But I'll never forgot that.
How'd it feel knowing that Tim did that?
It made me feel good.
Yeah, he had your back.
Yeah, he had my back. And he was that type of person he would cover you up if you needed help. So
you feel like that's you know, I don't know. Me personally, I guess this is a leading question, but me personally, I moved to Auburn. I was away from here for 4 years. I come back, and I've gotten a little older too, but I feel like that's Asheville. You know, that's what our community is. Like, I feel like if there were a situation that required it, you'd have my back and I'd have your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not from here, but you've lived here longer than anywhere else in your time. I mean, this is home for you, basically, I would assume. And you know, you think that's becoming more and more rare, I guess, these days?
Definitely. Coaches don't stay in one place very long anymore.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
They want to win instead of teaching. And it's, every coach wants to win.
Yes.
But there's more to coaching than winning. There's teaching kids about daily lives, how you're going to survive 20 years when you're got a job. You got to get up and go to work every day, and you got to support your family. It's just not that way anymore. There's so many coaches now that want to win, move up to a bigger school, or move up to a better job to improve there where they can get more money at the same time. And in a sense, you can't blame them because when you look at what the coach at Pell City is getting now, Lord, I don't know what he's getting, but I know it's close to $200,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to think of how much I got when I first started, it's unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair to know that. But that was the times. It's just like I drove a school bus for 30 years. And that was a little bit of income. If I hadn't drove a school bus, I wouldn't have had. And that helped my wife and my 2 kids all those years. And I didn't drive it when I was practicing. I had somebody always drove it for me. And that was a big help too, finding somebody. Because you can't find nobody anymore that drives.
No, you can't. You can't.
And I never had a problem finding somebody that drive it for me. So
you taught driver's ed. Did you teach driver's ed your entire career?
No. The first year I taught here at the high school. Taught 7th grade math or something, I don't know. Remember what it was. Then I went to the middle school for 4 years. And
at the time, that was on the hill,
yeah,
right?
Right. And Mr. Richard, whoever was a driver's ed teacher, he gave me that opportunity to go back to school to get certified where I could teach it. And I got my master's in education, which was driver's ed at the time. And I took a year off.
Really?
Yeah. I took 1 year off in the fall so I could finish my degree. And Mr. Richard let me do it.
You didn't coach anything?
I didn't coach it, but basketball.
That was the only thing you did that year?
That only thing.
Junior high basketball or junior varsity or varsity basketball?
That year would have been varsity B team or junior varsity. Yeah. And I can also remember we were short of coaches, and me and Coach Smith coached all of it. We coached this junior high. It was the 7th and 8th grade together, and then the 9th grade team, and then the B team, and the varsity. We started at 2:30 or 3 o'clock every day, and we went to about 7, 8 o'clock every night.
What was that like? How tired were you?
Oh, that was awful. I mean, it like to kill us. We didn't, and Coach Smith's wife, Betty, she brought us supper just about every night that we practiced.
Really?
And we would eat in between one of the teams practicing.
How old were you?
Let's see. I was probably in my late 20s.
Okay, about how old I am now.
Yeah.
I just turned 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. What talking about Coach Smith, when you first started working with Coach Smith, what was one of the things that he did that you didn't really understand that later on you were probably like, well, I kind of get that now, that he did as a coach? Or was there anything like that he did that you really didn't
I learned
understand?
so much from him just being, practice. We practiced together, you might say, but I was a varsity B team and practice, do the drills and stuff with the varsity and all that. And then when it split up, we'd go on, B team would go on one end, the varsity on the other. But you learn, Coach Smith, and I still got I'll bring you one of them.
Do you have a practice schedule?
Oh, yes, sir.
You have an old school practice schedule?
I've still got my practice schedules.
Coach, I'd love to see one of those.
I'll bring you one. And it was on whatever paper was, but it was thick. The paper was not just like a regular sheet of paper. and you could write them. But we had, like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Had all our drills on there. You could check those drills. You could put the time on there if you wanted to, or you just kept it in your head about how long you wanted to work on the drill. And we worked on drills. Everybody hated it because we worked on drills all the time.
Just fundamentals?
Fundamentals. It's just like I was watching Alabama and they're going through the screens or underneath the screen. We worked on going around them suckers. You got to get around them to keep them from shooting them and all that. But I'll bring you a schedule. Next home game, I'll bring you a schedule. I promise you.
What was your relationship like with Coach Smith?
Oh, it's good.
By the end, how was like how long did y'all coach together?
10 years.
10 years. So by the end,
yeah,
that last season y'all coached together, y'all pretty much knew each other.
Yeah. Well, he's 31-1 that last year.
What was that like? What was that season like?
That was unbelievable.
What do you remember the most about that season? It was 79?
79. The best thing that happened that year to us is they played together. They was not selfish, unselfish. They didn't have a great score on the team, but we had big bodies. It's just like you watch these college teams that got these big bodies. You couldn't keep Earl Newton from getting the basketball.
He just dominated inside.
And he shot a half hook. And he'd get down on the low post, and if the ball come to that side, Ronnie Gross was on that side most of the time, and he would get the ball to him. And Earl would shoot.
Ronnie's a tall, lanky fella.
6'3".
Yeah.
And then you had Earl 6'2", 250, 260 pounds. And
nobody was moving him.
You wasn't moving him off the block.
Yeah.
And when he got it, all he did is pivot, jump hook. And then you had Ricky Looney, who's 6'4". So if we'd have just, I feel like the one thing that we missed all year was having a real good guard. We had capable guards, but not the just, like you need to win a state championship. I think everybody in the state that wins usually has a good guard. And it's.
You think that's changed at all?
No. I think the guards are going to win your ball games. You don't. Because they don't throw it in the post as much to big guys anymore. And, it's just like that first team I had. The kid, Robert McClung, he was 6'5". You know him?
Oh, yeah. He was my elementary school janitor.
Yes.
Robert McClung, I remember walking, even as a little fella, everybody was tall to me, but I knew he was tall because he was taller than every other adult that he was around. And you just look up, you just stare up at him.
Yeah. He was 6'5", weighed about 165, but by the time of the end of the school year, he was down to 155 probably.
Really?
He just couldn't put on no weight. And the best game he ever had, he had 38 one game against Pell City. And he shot a half hook too. But I don't see kids working on that anymore growing up. So.
We got a pretty decent sized postman now.
I talked to him a while ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What do you think about Parker?
I'd like to see him in the post more.
Every football coach has their, they're an offensive guy, they're a defensive guy. I feel like every basketball coach too. This is just me as a basketball coach. I like working with the big fellas.
Yeah.
I don't have the hand-eye coordination for the three-point shot, and I don't have the feet to be a really good guard. But I love getting physical, even though I'm, a $185. I've always loved getting physical inside, and I can make a layup. So I like working with the big guys. Do you have a preference? Do you like?
Oh, I love working with the post guys. High post, yes. Well, that's like Johnny Bothell.
Yeah.
I taught him, to where when he faced up, if that man's off of you, you shoot it.
Yeah.
And he could shoot it so quick, and then if he gets up on him, he's by him. You got to, when you face up on somebody, you put pressure on your defense right there. Don't let them just put their hand in the back, and you've got to be ready to turn around and face them. If they're double teaming you, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But if there's one-on-one there, that's just like Jason scoring 28 points on Litchfield. They couldn't guard him. They was 6'2", and probably all of them 6'2". But he did a great job. That's the only time I played him on the post.
The only time.
Only time. He had 28 points. Highest, most he ever had.
What was the one, I guess the one moment, 30-year coaching career, you got a lot of moments, but what was the one moment that between yourself and a player where you saw a player that just couldn't get over a certain hump, they kept struggling with the same thing, and then out of nowhere they do it? Because I know you know what I'm talking about but do you remember any moment where there was a kid where you're like, man, if this kid could just do this, he or she would be so much better, and then they finally do it? Do you remember coaching any kids like that or ever having any moment like that?
I'm trying to think because there's so many of them.
Yeah, you coached a few folks in your time here.
Oh. That's a tough question. I'd have to do some
research.
Really thinking about that one.
What when you talk to your players now, when they come back and talk to you, is it like you just click back into place where it's the conversation automatically goes to? Because I know sometimes with my players that have now graduated and gone on, and I see them again, they immediately, like, it's, here's this story, we're going to talk about this.
I don't do that much with it. It's not the stories. I'm always asking about how you doing, what you doing, how many kids you got.
How's your family?
Stuff like that. That's what I'd like to hear about. That's just like Alex Farmer yesterday. What was I doing? Cracking pecans. And or shelling them, getting them out. And he sent me a text, and he went down to one of our shooting houses. He said, I got me a pair of eyes today. That made me feel so good because he's taking his kid. And I didn't even coach him, but he lives across the road. And me and Sandra sit on the front porch, especially in the summertime when they're out playing. And it does my heart so good to listen to those kids playing and knowing that somebody loves them. So that just thrills me to death. And the day before yesterday, he went by our house, went down to the creek, and I've got a place down there to shoot a gun. And he took his kids down there. All three of them got BB guns for Christmas, and they were shooting at those targets down there, and that made my day. I told Sam, I said, that makes my day. Just knowing that he's out there working with them, enjoying life with them, and they're enjoying him. And that makes me feel more satisfied than anything. I guess just watching kids, just like talking to Kim Wise out there, Earl Peoples. I don't know whether you know Earl, but anyway, she was filming her grandkids and so forth. And I asked her how many she had, and she said they had 5, and they all play sports. Says we're never at home.
Yeah.
So, that's good because a lot of people don't care.
Is that what you miss most about coaching?
I love being around kids.
Yeah.
And
I don't feel like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm going to because I feel like this is a good moment to say this. So, you never coached me. You never taught me. But you taught and you coached my dad. And I don't know why. But I feel, knowing that you're still here and that you still care, you feel like my coach. You feel like a coach that I've had. I feel like I can come to you and ask you advice, or I feel like I can come to you and talk to you about situations, especially as somebody that's been in the business. But also it's like, if teachers could have grand students or grand athletes, I would be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I feel, and I feel like you were that way to a lot of people because you spent your entire career here. It's obvious you were in it for the right reasons, and you dedicated and you served, and you know ball, and that's always nice too. And so I always love talking to you for that reason. Because I know it's always going to be a good conversation. There's always going to be there's always going to be a good story. I told Mickey Farmer the other day. I said, one of the people that I always enjoy talking to is Larry Touart. And I said because it's like every time I talk to him, I'm going to learn something new about a place that I, having lived here my whole life or most of my life that. You kind of get complacent. You kind of think you know everything to a certain degree or know everybody. Well, then here comes Larry Touart, and he's got a story that you've never heard before. And Mickey Farmer said, you know what? I've had that same experience, Nick. He said, I never know when he's going to tell me a story he's never told me before. Yeah. So thank you for that. It's always fun to sit down and talk with you. And especially to hear you talk about your students and your athletes because you talk about them like they're yours, like they're your kids.
When we get through, I'll tell you one I can't do anything right. I'll tell you that one too. So.
Okay.
But I just enjoy kids, and it's just like coaching. Every kid can't start, and you got to make the kids feel like they're part of the team. And if you can play them, get them in. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you see kids sit on the bench and never get in the game. If you're way ahead, put them in. If you're way behind, put them in.
Mm-hmm. Get them some time.
Yeah.
How'd you know you wanted to be a coach?
That's a good question, too. Because my twin brother was a coach.
Mm-hmm. But now he didn't coach around here, correct?
No, he coached at Goodwater where he started.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so funny, when we were getting out, graduating from Jacksonville, I had to take a class in my last semester up there at Jacksonville. It was a remedial writing class. Mm-hmm. I was terrible at writing. And you had to take it if you was in education. And there was 21 of us, I think, that was in it. We didn't pass that writing. They had 3 people to read your essay or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And if 2 of them failed you, you had to take it. Well, I had to take that to graduate. My brother graduated in the spring semester. I had to come back and take that one class all summer. And then we both were looking for jobs.
Yeah.
And he was getting married, and he went for the interview at Goodwater, and they hired him. And hired him as a darn football coach, head football coach.
Head football coach?
He was a head football coach and never had played football.
Straight out of college?
Yeah.
Straight out of college?
Straight out of college. And, anyway, I remember David, I guess it was the 3rd or 4th year down there. They went all the way to the semifinals, I think, the state.
Really?
Me and my brother-in-law went to Ramburn, mm-hmm. I think, to watch them play in I don't know which round, but anyway, they beat Ramburn. But they had they did it right. Mm-hmm. And where he got his information from was out of a book, probably.
How do you think you two are different? Because you're twins, and a lot of people have, if they're not a twin, they have these stereotypes about twins.
We're not a whole lot of different. We've always liked to hunt together. We like to fish together. We've done most of our stuff growing up. It was together. We did, we studied together because we roomed together the whole time we was in college. Took every class in college except for that one class that I failed. Caused me to have to take another class, and that was the only class we didn't have together. No. So if I missed my class for sickness, or we read each other's notes, it ended up helping me.
Did you ever coach? I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it for the people. Did y'all ever coach against each other?
One time. The only time my mother saw us play, she never saw us play. and that was the only time she saw us coach.
Was against each other.
It was against each other. It was a good water tournament in 80 something. I don't know. Let's see, was Roger Peace? I can't even remember what team it was. But anyway, he had all blacks at Goodwater. And I don't know whether it was that year. I went and watched him practice one Christmas. He had 12 on the team, and every one of them was dunking it like crazy.
Oh my God!
I mean, all 12 of them. And there was a couple of them like 5'9". They had dunked that thing as easy as with both hands. But he had a kid that played at Birmingham Southern, and he was the leading scorer at Birmingham Southern at one time. So he had a run of good athletes where he coached, and then he got out of coaching and became a principal, elementary school principal, and then took the high school principal's job at Coosa Central when they built the new high school. They did away with Goodwater, did away with Gufka, and did away with Rockford.
And combined
just
one
like
school.
Clay County Central.
Mm-hmm.
And that school was a 4A when they started, and it's a 2A now.
Really?
Yeah.
They combined to form a 4A, and now it's a 2A.
Yeah. There's no jobs down there.
Oh man.
And it's down. You ever been through there?
Mm-hmm. Once.
There ain't much down there.
No, it's a long drive.
It's a spread out county.
Rural is a good word.
Logging was the biggest thing they did back then, and it's probably the biggest thing to do. There's not any industry in any of those towns.
Yeah.
So.
Who won?
We got beat 43-41.
43-41, and you went all the way down there.
Yeah.
Dang.
Let's see what was. I think we went down there one year and we had a bus to tear up, and somebody brought us another bus or something. But I can't remember much about that. But it was a long trip down there to Goodwater.
When'd you end up retiring from Ashville?
When did I retire? 99.
Why 99?
I had just made up my mind when I had 25 in. I said, I'm going to wait till Jason graduates and retire. And his senior year, too, they were 10-1 in football, won 10 games. Mm-hmm. That was a great moment, too, for him and the whole team because they were close. And I can't remember what our record was in basketball. I don't even know whether we was 500. Might not have been, but anyway, we didn't have no great athletes on the basketball team, but they played hard. Mm-hmm. We got in the county finals, and we played. It was Jason and Sean Sissom and Landon. Lord, I can't even think of his last name now. I can still see his face and everything, but I can't remember his name. Matthew Sanders and Brandon Brown. That was my 5 starters. I had 3 or 4 others come off the bench, but and Matthew Sanders could tell you this is a tale too. We worked all week. We won our first game in the county tournament. Mm-hmm. Then we played Moody, and they had a 6'7", and a 6'3", and a 6'5", and we couldn't guard them if we played a man because they just lobbing inside on us. So we worked all week on playing a zone. And they had a white kid, the one that's 6'5", he played, if you played a zone against him, he was going to go on the right wing or in the right corner. And he was going to shoot it. Well, we worked all week about what you had to do if the ball got in your area. Mm-hmm. And Matthew Sanders was supposed to cover the corner. He ain't went out there yet. I think I used 2 or 3 timeouts the first quarter. But and he mentioned that when he was inducted in the Sports Hall of Fame.
He did. I remember that.
I don't know why.
He couldn't get his mind right and get out there.
He just didn't get out there.
How'd y'all do film back then? Or did y'all with basketball?
We filmed. I bought a camera and had somebody to film it for me.
VHS or a tape on a tape?
Yeah.
Now, did you trade film or?
No, we didn't trade. In football, they did, but in basketball, we never traded film. And anyway, I thought it was always important for us just to work on us.
Yeah.
And if we had the stuff, like Coach Gross's senior year, we played Aniana, but before we played Aniana, we played Vincent. And Vincent had some big old boys. I mean, 6'5", 6'6". And there's Coach Gross. Lorenzo Looney is about 6'1". Johnny Bothwell, 6 foot. But my brother went and scouted them for us. And we got that scouting report, and I mean, we got it down to a T where we knew what they was going to do, where they was going to go, and everything. And we shut them down.
Really?
We shut them down. And we ended up beating them. And we had 3 turnovers the whole game. I still remember that game, too. But we didn't throw the ball away. And that gave us more opportunities to score and so forth. And then after we won that game, we played Aniana here. And Coach Gross, I can still see the shot. We're down 1, I think, and it's down like a minute, something like that. He shoots a wide open shot in the corner on this side. Round the rim and around the rim and come out. And then we ended up having to foul them, and they beat us 4, 5, 6, something like that. I can't remember. But that was a. They had Lamont Russell, and he could play, and they had some other guys that could play too.
Yeah.
They wasn't. Lamont was probably 6'1", 6'2", and they had another guy about 6'3". They were not big, but they were all quick, just like Aniston was.
Yeah.
So, but that would hurt. So.
And then you hung it up in May of '99.
Yeah.
So you've been retired for 20.
Yeah, it'll be 20.
It'll be 26 years.
6 years this spring.
What's retired life been like for you?
It's been good.
Was it an adjustment at first?
Yeah, because I had to find a job.
What'd you end up doing?
I sold real estate for 11 years.
How was that?
Or 12 years. Yeah, I liked it. It got bad when the
recession hit?
Recession hit.
Yeah.
And I finally said, and Paul Kell had died. And I said, well, if it's not going to be any better than this, I said, I can go home and do a lot of things around on the pasture and stuff like that. And I did. I put in new fence and stretched barbed wire, hunted when I wanted to, and I did. I can remember one stretch of hunting. I went, let's see, what was it? 14 or 15 straight days, I think. I saw a buck every day.
Every day?
Every single day. And did not shoot one. It wasn't big enough.
No. Gosh, just teasing you.
And then the first year that I quit, that I guess it was that fall, I started looking for a job, and I went to an interview in Oxford for it was working for one of these chicken companies. I can't think. I'd have been going around traveling, checking houses or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was. And I thought I did an interview real good, and I thought I'd get that job. Well, I didn't get it. And then one day Paul was talking to me, and he asked me, says, would you be interested in selling real estate? And I said, yeah. And I'll tell you another thing. I went and took the test to be work for the post office. And I passed all that, and I had a four-wheel drive black pickup truck. And they called me to deliver mail. I said, dang, I can't drive this four-wheel drive pickup truck and put mail in a box. So I said, I'll have to do it. I won't do that. And I think Paul had done asked me that. And I said, I believe I'm going to stick to real estate. So I took those tests and passed it. And I enjoyed what I was doing. Enjoyed the people I worked with. Buddy Simpson and Greg and Paul, and the two ladies at the work. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I made enough money to survive.
Yeah.
So.
And now you retired.
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'll be 79 in February.
That's young.
Oh, sometimes it's hard for me to get out of bed now.
Sometimes?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. And well, I'm not going to tell you that.
But you still get out of bed, though.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah. You still get out of
Put
bed.
Put your feet on the ground.
And I see you at all these basketball, football. You come to so much. Why do you still come around?
I enjoy watching them play. Mm-hmm. And then I still coach in my head.
That's going to be my next question. What is it like sitting up there in the stands, especially at a basketball game? You know, I know sometimes you've got to have this urge because Sean Smith, he's got this urge, and he and I talk a lot about it too. He's like, you know, because he's a former player, and Caleb and I talk about it too sometimes. But as a former coach, what's it like? You know, how do you?
Well, I think the thing that bothers me more is turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
And not blocking out and stuff like that. And y'all do. I've watched you block out pretty good.
Well, not as much as we need to.
Well, nobody ever does. Mm-hmm. Colleges, nobody does that. But that's like, you know, I go back and think when I played for David Childers, who graduated from Auburn, who won, I know, 2 state championships where I went to high school, and they were 31-0 or 30-0 one year and got upset to go to the state, and I went to that game because they had a kid. The other team had a kid that was 7 foot.
7 foot.
Yeah, 7 foot. And Millville had a kid that was 6'5", yeah, but they couldn't guard that 7 footer. He was too big. And the guard, the kid from Ashville, Millville, that was 6'5", he went to Auburn. He signed for Auburn. So Coach Childers had some good players where I went to high school. Mm-hmm. And but anyway, he left there and went to Phillips High School in Birmingham, mm-hmm, and won a state champion there with Enos Watley. Oh. He coached him.
That's where David Cutcliffe went too.
Yeah. And he died about, say 5 or 6 years ago. Had Alzheimer's disease. Mm. But I guess me and my twin brother, I don't know for David's here, but Coach Childers, there was just something about what he did every day when we practiced and so forth that that's what I sort of wanted to do. And when I was growing up, I was shy.
Really?
Yes. I didn't open my mouth. I still don't open my mouth. When I'm in a class, yeah, you're not going to hear me open my mouth. When I was at Ashville, I bet you the only time I ever opened my mouth when I had to get up and give a presentation.
Why is that? Just your personality, or you just don't want to?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think it's part of my personality my personality as far as talking is a whole lot better than what it used to be. Mm-hmm. And it just, but I've always been that way. When I was in high school, I said, my best friend's name was Larry too.
Really?
Yeah.
Larry and Larry.
And we sit right next to each other. First, his on 1 and I was on 2. And I'd never open my mouth. I'd sit there and just listen. And when I was in college, I listened. And I'm anywhere, unless, now if it was sports,
yeah,
like we had a coaches meeting or something like that, I'd speak up. But if it's not sports, I keep my mouth shut. Just listen. I do that in my Sunday school class. Been going for a long time, the same Sunday school class. I just don't speak up. And I think part of it was because when I was in the 7th grade, my mother had remarried. And we moved to Talladega. And I had a teacher that accused me of cheating.
Really?
And I didn't cheat. And that stuck with me. Even when I started teaching, I said, I'm not going to accuse somebody of cheating unless I know for a fact. Because I said, that tore me up. And so anyway, my mother, she divorced the man that she married, and we moved back to where we grew up. So I spent all my life in that, where my niece lives now, in that house. Yeah, my niece lives in the house now, her and her husband. So.
How long you been in Asheville?
Since '69. And we was talking about this the other day. Shirley Satterfield, you remember him?
Named the parkway out here, the bridge named after.
Yeah,
Shirley.
Well,
mayor?
He was not mayor. He was
Councilman.
County commissioner.
County commissioner.
But that's what he had, a little old trailer right across from where the co-op is. I mean, it wasn't much longer than this room, but that's where I rented right there.
Really?
Yeah, for the first year. And I can still remember one thing. To dry my hair from taking a shower, I didn't have one of these blowers. They didn't have blowers back then, I don't think. I'd get down in front of the vent and dry my hair. Because if you go back and look, Nick, I mean, I had a head full of hair.
That's what I've always heard.
Yeah, I had a head full of hair.
I've always heard that.
And it took it a while to dry, and it was kinky. And you drove me up a wall. But anyway, that's how I dry my hair every morning. And I'll tell you another story. The first year I was there, we was playing somebody, and I was sick. I had an awful cold. And I went down to the drugstore, Doc Newman. I said, Doc Newman, can you give me something for this cold? He said, yeah, I'll fix you something up. So I get it that afternoon, go back up there, and during the ball game, I'm feeling rough. I mean, bad. And I look at that bottle, and it says, take whenever needed. Well, I drank every bit of it.
Oh, no. Oh, Coach.
Not right then, but all of it during the ball game or before the ball game. And I had to have somebody drive me home. I don't know what he put in that stuff. But
strong.
Buddy, I mean, it was stout. It made me feel a little.
Did you make it through so you made it through the game?
Yeah.
How'd the game end?
Oh, I had no idea.
You remember?
No. Oh, Lord, I've told Sandy that lots of times about that. So it's comical on some of that stuff. But,
Coach, I appreciate you sitting down with me. Hopefully we can do this again, because I know you got more stories to tell. But I appreciate you. It's always nice when especially at basketball games, when I'm sitting on the bench and, I've got a million different things going through my mind. And I don't know if you ever experienced this when you were coaching, but sometimes you look at people that come in and, you're in that coaching zone, right? And you're nervous, or you're wound up, or you're just locked in, you're just focused. And then you just certain people you see, and it's just like, okay, it's going to be all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I see you come in, and I know, that guy, he coached here forever. He's still coming to support. He and his wife are still here. It's going to be okay. We're going to make it through this.
That's like Coach Smith. Now, I didn't mind him coming in and watching practice. Mm-hmm. He'd make some pointers or stuff like that. That didn't bother me one bit, because we were good friends. Mm-hmm. And he taught me so much. So, that's one thing I enjoyed about Coach Smith. And he came to all the ball games.
Yeah.
And he knew more about players. And this play, I can't remember any of it, but Coach Smith never forgot anything.
Yeah. I always enjoyed talking to him, because when I was in school, he would still come to games.
Yeah.
And I always enjoyed talking to him when he came to those games. Yeah. And I really didn't get to know him until right before he passed away. And that's my biggest regret, was not talking to him more. But I appreciate you, Coach. I enjoyed this conversation. Hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah.
But thank you.
That's good. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's up?
Now, can I tell you that story?
Yes, tell me. I want to know.
Get ready for life.
All I be by, baby, what you expecting? Fighting the dog, big up on that section. And I'm green, what I bleed won't change my direction. And I see you on B, for you best get the step on. Oh, no, we gang green. cheering loud and they give everybody chills. Yeah, giving back, dishing flat, cut no slack, and I know for a fact my dogs always got my back. Everybody want a life like this. If you fall, I only care if you rise like this. I ain't football team pushing out with all them eyes. Shout out to my homies at the 3-point line. Gang.